clean opening. Here we are again. Season 2, Episode 3, spoiler mode for The Last of Us. We are Easy Allies. I'm Michael Huber, joined by Gabby Montoot.
Spoiler mode, final warning, spoiler mode, activated.
This episode is called The Path.
The Path. We are taking the path to Seattle. We must navigate the path.
Kind of.
Yeah.
At the last second.
Yeah. Initial thoughts. I'm gonna let you open it up.
I liked this episode better than the last one, for sure.
Same. I like the quiet ones usually more, you know?
And I liked kind of the changes that they made and like the bureaucracy kind of that they added because it just makes more sense, you know?
Yeah.
Especially because Jackson in the game is far less established by this time than in the show.
Yeah.
So it would make sense that they were like, okay, we have a council of elders that, you know, decide if we're gonna go seek revenge.
Totally.
Yeah.
It definitely plays different
Mm-hmm.
compared to the game narrative. As we discuss each week, we talk about this, just a different feeling to it, because on one hand, and like, I love everything you said, Gabby, you're so right. But there is something about the speed and urgency in the game in part 2 at which you leave. And also in the game, Tommy leaves first. Tommy's fucking out of there, hunting their ass down fast. And then it's like up to you then to like kind of follow in Tommy's footsteps there.
Does Tommy go without asking?
Yeah, he just bounces. Because he tells you like not to go or whatever, and then he's just like he's out of there. Yeah.
Does Maria know he's going?
He probably just goes, and then she ends up like helping you. I think she's like, all right, because now that he's gone, I know you guys.
This is a theme in media that you and I have watched together, which is people not informing their wives when they're doing something really,
just like
really dangerous or important.
Just tell your people, like, just be communicative.
Something I really liked that I think it's something you realize later when you're playing the game, but I liked that Tommy said it so blatantly, which was when Ellie was, this is before they do the council meeting and stuff, when Ellie's like, well, Joel would, like, if you were in Seattle, Joel would head to, or no, if you were like, oh, Joel would head to Seattle.
Yeah.
Too.
Mm-hmm.
And Tommy was like, yeah, if I was to save me, but not to avenge me.
I don't even remember that line.
Yeah. And I just thought that, you know, that's something you kind of, as you're playing as Ellie in the game, you start to realize that that's the case. I think as you're like, you know, it starts to be more and more of a sunk cost fallacy.
Yeah, you're pot committed for sure.
Yeah.
You go all the way out there and it's like, all right.
Right.
But as we know, things do change later on with the sunk cost fallacy. What else? Yeah, we just picked up with the aftermath. Again, just the show is really driving home the other lives, not just Ellie and co, you know, really building up Jackson, really showing that this stuff affects everyone, that many people die. Joel is not the only casualty in this whole freaking thing. Like, much death.
In the show, he is, or in the game, he is the only casualty.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's so different. It's just such a different, it's so much more of an act of selfishness for Ellie to leave.
Mm-hmm. I know, it's so weird.
Not even to leave, to demand that, you know, more people, or she didn't demand that more people go with her, but that act is more selfish.
Yeah, this like 16 people set to go. I was like, that seems weird. That's crazy.
That's a lot. But that's also like safety in numbers, you know?
Yeah.
But then the lady at the meeting was like, you cannot guarantee that all 16 of them will come back.
She was great.
Yeah.
Good
She
speech.
was great.
I was against
Rachel.
her. I was against her 100%, and I was like, "You're great."
Yeah, same. I was like, I don't care what this bitch actually has to say, but she said it very well.
Then there was a therapy session, of course. Catherine O'Hara, best character in like the whole fucking show, honestly. Truly, like, so good, because there's no like baggage to compare her to anyone. Like, oh, I like this part of the game
true.
character, I like this part of the show character. It's like, no, she's just fucking amazing, killing it.
Yeah.
How do you deal with it?
love
Oh, well,
that-
I'm an alcoholic and like I smoke a lot of weed, so I'm a mess. Whatever. I'm the only one here. Like, who the hell am I going to talk to?
Yeah. I loved in the first scene where she comes to Ellie in the hospital, when it's so obvious that Ellie is lying, and she can tell Ellie is lying.
So it doesn't even hide it.
Yeah, it's kind of not her job to be like, you're lying.
Yeah.
You know?
She's not the police. She's not a cop.
She's not the police. Yep.
Baseball hype. She had Tiger season tickets. That's sick.
Yep.
Loved that.
I literally thought of you when that happened.
Like, yeah, tight.
Wait, we also saw the scars before the baseball.
Yes.
The first appearance of the scars.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to it.
Oh, sorry.
Yep. Also we saw Joel's room, which I really, really liked. Behind the scenes, they said they built this entire set for this one scene. And I was like, that's that HBO Game of Thrones money, baby. Let's go here. Let's build it out for one scene. It was really great, though. It was pretty fucking... Anytime they recreate something like that is like almost one for one, is really powerful. Like, in the bedroom, she walks in. I was like, oh, that feels like really close. The box on the bed, all of his carvings, really, really cool scene.
His like cowboy art, which like I guess maybe was already in the house, but it's still so him.
And then like she meets up with Dina. Dina's like, let's fucking go. Dina lied to her, though. She knew more than she said.
Right.
Then remember, this is a 3-month time jump here.
Yeah.
That seems pretty big.
That was crazy. I'm not sure how I feel about it being that long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, again, it just plays differently for sure.
Yeah, because like when Ellie, I kind of like the idea of her being like, I don't care if I'm injured, I'm going anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I don't mind it. It's just an interesting choice.
It is interesting because in the game, it's so irrational and angry and urgent and immediate. All of it, dude. Tommy goes. He's fucking grieving. He's emotional. She fucking goes. Like, but now that they're like sitting around talking about it for months, everything about the journey felt more like decisive and thought out and planned and rational, even though all of the game is so irrational, and that's one of its strengths, is because it is so emotional and irrational. So it is just like a jarring, subtle, but also huge change in the motivations of going.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm just gonna have to adjust as we go, of course.
Yeah.
And again, it is different. I'm not saying it's better or worse. I'm saying it is a different tone, a different energy, specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, but then, like you said, the Seraphites, the Scars, who seriously, you always hear me talking about clickers are like the best enemy of video games of all time. Like, fucking Scars
are 10,000 times scarier to me.
Underrated video game enemy, dude.
Yes.
The
yes.
whistling, the hunting, the bows, the torches, like
The hammers.
God,
when he gives
dude.
that child a hammer.
Yes, dude. They're
Holy shit.
so intense. So good to
Yeah.
fight. Also just another thing that only a video game sicko that just plays it a lot and has that connection is like, I really like the Scars introduction in the game. You know, you're in the woods and a fucking arrow goes by and you hear whistling. You see signs of them before, but then now in the show, you know, we're meeting a child all of a sudden. We're feeling bad for the Seraphites
Yeah.
immediately because there's a dead
yeah.
child there. And again, it's just the storytelling feels a little more clumsy, a little more obvious,
Yeah.
and a little more straightforward to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Did anyone else feel that? I don't know.
I did feel that. I did kind of. It's just so. Okay, I'm having like 10,000 thoughts at once.
I know.
Just,
Take your time. Take your time.
I
Lot to unpack here.
In the game, it's so much scarier
Mm.
when you're confronted by the Scars
It's so
or by the
intense.
Seraphites, because you know there's just that body hanging in the middle of the woods or whatever, and you like
So
walk
sick.
up to it, you're like, "What's this?" And then an arrow hits you.
So sick.
You can avoid that encounter, by the way.
Love that, dude. Crawl through, bro. Crawl through. You can avoid like so many encounters in that game.
Yeah. But it just that part feels so canon, you know. But
Yeah.
love
that fight.
So you know when you're playing, that's so scary, and I like that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, the way the TV show is planning things out, we're just it's more linear.
Yeah.
It seems so. It makes. I think we'll probably get introduced to our Scar characters sooner, and therefore we need to know about the Seraphites ASAP.
Whoop.
And yeah.
So yeah, I'm just a little torn there with like a child has died here, and like really just like I just feel like everyone always kind of makes fun of the game for being like this basic obvious tale, but it's actually pretty funny watching the show because I feel like it's 10 times more obvious and set up, where it's just like, here are these people dying, they've lost people. Here are these people dying, they've lost people. Here's this person that has lost people. Like, it just seems a little more on the nose, I guess.
That's true. I think it also just has to do with, you know, when you're playing a game, you're an active participant.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this, like, everyone has to be a little, and you're playing it for 40 hours or whatever.
Yeah, like 25, 30.
25, 30 hours. So in some ways, things can be more drawn out, and then in other ways, they have to be way more truncated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see it. We'll see how this storyline plays out, because that is such a huge part of the game, Gabby, is like this WLF Seraphite war. It is the backdrop and the border of this entire story. Obviously, we care about the revenge in there the most, and the characters, you know, Abby, Ellie, their companions, of course, but around all of that is this huge war that we learn about little by little, you know, who did what, who shot first, like, what is going on with all these. So interesting that, like, if you don't know what the hell is going on, it feels like after this episode, all of a sudden, you're like, okay, well, the wolves came in, brutally killed Joel. Now we're supposed to believe the wolves killed this kid and massacred everyone. Right. So are the Seraphites like the heroes? Ellie's gonna like ally with them. It's like Super weird. But maybe we're supposed to feel that way. And then obviously that's not quite the case.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, it
that's
is
true.
messy.
But also, like, we see that this child has, like, her face mutilated.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it all plays out, Gabby. I'm intrigued. I don't know just yet. There's slippery slope here. Slippery slope to navigate all this.
Yeah.
Because I love it, dude. I love, like, no one ever talks. Every time Last of Us Part 2 is brought up, it's revenge Ellie Abby. That's it. They suck up all the conversation, all the air, golf clubs this, golf clubs that. And it's like, dude, this Isaac shit and all this is like a huge part of the game. Super intense.
Right.
Maybe not the strongest part of the game, but like a lot of those characters are fucking sick.
Yeah. I'm just,
you know who I'm talking about. You know exactly who I'm talking about. I'm obsessed. I can't wait. Lev, I can't wait.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Cannot wait.
Of course.
Yara, Lev, let's go.
And Yara.
Let's go. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. 10 out of fucking 10. Really liked the council meeting. Again, we
yes.
Let me go in order though. Yeah. I think that's okay. I had that down next. Yeah, the council meeting. I'm assume Ellie is lying here. I would like your take. Obviously, the note seemed like
genuine.
Not fully genuine. Like when she talks.
Yes, that's what I mean. It's written in a genuine tone, but it didn't. Yeah.
Like when she talks about she wants justice over revenge, do you believe that?
I think she thinks that. But I don't think that is actually the case. Yeah.
Okay. I like that. Yeah, again, because the game, at the speed at which she leaves, she doesn't even have time to process any of this other than like, I need to go kill this person for both. It is revenge and justice. They are messily entwined there. Like, we need to, you know, they came, they killed one of ours, let's go, but also you killed Joel, so we got to take you out, and it is personal. I feel like it's justice for everyone that's part of the Salt Lake crew, but then it's revenge on Abby. So maybe it is a little both.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think justice and revenge, especially in this, you know, there's no court in this, you know, near catastrophic future. Like, so you know, what does justice mean? In a place where you don't have, like, you know, the only rules and laws are ones you had to, like, make up yourself from what you remember of the Constitution or whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever your faction is. The Whisperers, you have to wear zombie masks.
I mean, it's like in the first season when Maria's like, "Oh, we're communists."
Yeah.
And Tommy's like, "We're not communists. Stop saying that." And she's like, "We live on a commune. We are communists."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. They all get a vote.
Well, they don't all get a vote.
Well, the council does, and then everybody gets to say their piece.
Yeah. Have you ever seen that Onion headline that's like, "Breaking, worst person you know makes a good point," or like, "Worst person you know is right"? Like, that's how I felt when Seth was. Was, like, standing up and talking. The
Seth redemption arc here. John Robert Burke killing it. Love him. Legendary, prolific actor. He's in. First thing that comes to mind is Thinner. Stephen King's Thinner. He's in a ton of shit. Another expanded storyline. I like it. I don't know. Like,
yeah, I thought it was interesting. Like, in the game, he just calls them a slur and then gives them a sandwich, and we never see him again.
Yeah.
So I like that he's like an actual person.
Totally. You know? And like Ellie, it's funny because he's such an asshole, Gabby. I thought it was really effective because he's such an asshole. Such a bigot in that scene, like true scum. And then now I feel bad when Ellie's mean to him. You know what I mean? I'm like, dude, Ellie, don't be a jerk. Like, come on, Ellie. Like, Ellie, don't be a jerk. Don't be rude. Like, so then when she shook his hand, I thought that was a really fucking effective moment where it's like shaking your hand with someone you don't believe you don't align with, you don't have the same beliefs, could be perceived as an enemy even, and just shaking his hand and like coming together for something else,
Yeah.
because I got that
and I
he
think-
wanted revenge kind of, and he also felt bad about just the whole thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the last time he probably saw Joel was when Joel shoved him to the ground.
Yeah.
On the receive. Insane.
Yeah.
I think it's just showing us like levels of justice and injustice.
Yeah.
Like, it is an injustice that this man tried to ruin Ellie and Dina's New Year's by calling them a slur on the dance floor.
Yeah.
And it's also an injustice that Joel is dead. And what do these different types of injustice, like, would an apology from Abby be enough? No,
No. Yeah. No.
But would killing Seth be enough? Also no.
Yeah.
It'd
be too much.
The right punishment. It wouldn't be the right punishment. Yeah.
It's a great point, Gabby. It's a great perspective. I love that. Yeah, just dealing with like how you said, Joel's gone. Just back to the house scene real quick of just like how sudden it is. You know what I mean? Joel's there and then Joel's not. Like, it's happened to all of us, someone you love is there. Someone you love is no longer there. And like, you cannot do anything about it. And time marches on and we are the ones left.
Right. And, the whole thing about like someone, the fact that her room is still pristine. And that concept of like, when someone passes away, they leave you, but they also take their memories of you with them. So, it's so and I think the most kind of powerful thing to me was her seeing the shirts.
Oh yeah, like in the game, I love that. Smells them and shit.
Exactly, the smell. Like, smell is our most what is it, like, memory triggering sense or whatever, even more than sight.
Sick.
So, yeah.
Yeah, great moment. Really good. I can see why they spent the Game of Thrones money on the set. It was a very good, very good scene there. I liked it.
Yeah.
And then they're on the move. Seth helps him out, dude. The Seth redemption arc.
Oh wait, one thing that made me laugh. When Ellie is preparing to leave in the garage. And Dina knocks on the door, and Ellie's like, "Oh, hi!" Doesn't want to let her in, and it pans over, and there's like 50 guns. I laughed.
Yeah, super good. I'm going to sleep. That's not where you're going.
Like,
so good, so good. Also, my God, every single word, every single frame of Jesse. 10 out of 10, my man, dude.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with him.
Obsessed. Cannot wait for more. Also, Dina, of course. Everyone, dude. Catherine O'Hara, fucking Tommy, Ellie. Everyone is just eating. Everyone is just eating hard.
I thought Bella Ramsey's performance was really good.
In this one, it was fucking good. Yes, I agree. Big time agree. So they're on the move, Dina and Ellie. We also need to go, before we get to the end of the episode, there are a couple housekeeping items. One, we did not get the makeout sesh with them. It's really saving it up. No stash house. I agree. I half expected it to go down in this episode when they were camping.
Me too.
The sexual tension was charged. That scene was charged. It was.
Before we talk about that, let's talk. Yeah.
And then
The grave.
The grave. No, there was something else about a big change. I just totally fucking lost it.
Oh, the location of the grave.
The main conversation with Joel and Ellie on the night of the dance that they did not have, and she said she didn't have it. What?
I forgot about that.
What is going on here? What is going
weird. She
on? Is she lying?
The co-
Remember, Catherine O'Hara did have that thing about, oh, she's a liar. She doesn't lie. She's a liar. Maybe she wants to keep that memory to herself. She didn't want to talk about it. It's her thing. Her and Joel only. Nobody else gets to have that. Tom Hanks, Saving Private Ryan. No, that one's just for me. Straight up. That one's just for me.
Yeah. In Saving Private Ryan,
Mhm.
he's having a flashback to events that he wasn't there for. Anyway, so
Offline, we'll talk about that. I don't know what you're talking about.
Sorry.
But go on. What the hell are you talking about?
Sorry. The tent. Are we talking about the tent?
No, we are talking about her lying about potentially never having the conversation on the porch.
Right. So
One of the best moments in the entire franchise.
Yeah. You get that catharsis of being like, oh, thank God she did say goodbye to him in some way. Like, they made up a little bit.
Yeah.
But then in this, I feel like in just the beginning of this episode, she's immediately like, yeah, I understand the psychology of it, and I don't want to hear about it. Like, I get it. I'm damaged. But it's okay. Our relationship was complicated. And we had some of this in the last episode, too. Like, yeah, our relationship's complicated. It's okay, though. Like, she seems to be, like, healed in a way that she isn't healed in the game. Kind of. Like,
3-month time jump, yeah.
Yeah, but even before that.
Yeah.
Like, even in the last episode when she's saying, like, to Jesse, like, it's fine. Like, we have a weird relationship, but it's totally fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's interesting. I wonder why. I mean, I guess I think it would feel more cheap if it happened and they didn't show us, and it would feel like, oh, who cares? It would be less impactful that she's seeking revenge if it happened and they did show it, you know. So I think from a television perspective, I think it's
crazy change, crazy omission. One of the best video game conversations ever, dude. Obsessed. Also, that realization, like, it's such a pivotal moment. That moment in the game happens late, to say the least. Very, very late. Which, you know, which again makes me think, like, is Ellie lying here, or they're just taking a different narrative approach to drive home her motivations for revenge and justice. It all just feels a little different. Obviously, it's a different medium. It's a different story. It's a TV show versus a game. So it's one or the other, and we're gonna find out.
I think that's exactly it. It's just that it would be like, why didn't they show us this before?
Mm-hmm.
If it had happened, you know?
Yeah, I think she's lying, personally.
You think it happened and she's just keeping it private? Why?
Yeah, they talked about lying the whole episode.
Yeah, but what does she gain from not talking about that moment?
It's her memory
from being like, didn't get to say goodbye to him. Like, what does she gain from that? That's so weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
You know?
Yeah. Because, like, she didn't want to talk about it, but, like, she was still talking to her anyway about shit. Like, you know?
Yeah.
So, we will see. We will see.
We'll see. We shall see.
We shall see. Again, I just want to reiterate that any scenes that are omitted or changed doesn't bother me at all, as long as the show still has the narrative, like, elements and all. Like, if something is omitted, it needs to like land somewhere else and be for a reason that something was omitted or truncated or not shown.
Yeah. Or it needs to be a bold swing in some way where I'm like, oh, okay, interesting. Wow, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Interesting. And then we are on the road and we see bodies. We see scars.
Wait, you missed the gravestone. I want to talk about the
gravestone. Gravestone. Yeah, good one. Also, change the burial
location.
site, whatever. In the game, it's right there.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
How would all the dead people be able to fit inside the town? Like,
Yeah.
of course, that makes sense. I really loved that she put the coffee beans on his grave.
Oh, love that.
That's for the real Last of Us heads out there.
Oh,
that
fuck yeah.
remember.
Joel would trade Joel would trade half his stash for a bag of beans.
Yeah.
Top
Yeah.
8 lines in The Last of Us. Really sums up part of Joel's entire character.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really good. That was a great moment, Gabby. 10 out of 10.
I really liked that.
Those subtle little
really
nods, like in part 1, seeing like the when they're in Ish's tunnel and you see like an actual document from the game but in the show, and it's like, oh, that little Easter eggs like that are so cool. Little connections where it's like, oh, because I played the game, like I have a little extra feeling there. So it's cool.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yep.
In the behind the scenes, they talked a lot about we didn't have the opportunity in the game to do something, so we're doing it here. Just makes me nervous. It makes me nervous that they're trying to like do too much. I feel like that entire philosophy is just making me a little uneasy of like, again, having a massive battle, showing Jackson, like...
Yeah, but at the same time, they're not going too fast.
True.
We're 3 hours in and they just got to Seattle.
True.
You know?
Yes. True.
Like, we barely saw Seattle.
Yeah. Because like even Druckmann...
I think I was there faster in the game.
Because even Druckmann behind the scenes was like, he was like, yeah, the Ellie going through the house, like the mourning process, her mourning in the game because of the mechanics is so slow. And it was like,
yeah,
it was like, or no, it was so fast. I mean, it was so brief. And I'm like, brief. I fucking take a knee. Like that scene takes me like an hour and a half. What are you talking about, dude? Like I go through that house like a snail, dude.
Yeah, me too.
Like, yeah.
I'm RP walking.
I
think you have to walk actually, but I'm looking at everything.
Yeah. So yeah, the constant like them saying like we're gonna expand this, we're gonna show this, we couldn't show that, like they keep like expanding things, which again is really cool. And like I love seeing these extra little parts of the video game world. That's so awesome. Like like obviously the biggest part in the first season was Henry and Sam, and them being part of that like whole faction, and all the whole big kid, them being hunted down by the Fedra group and all that stuff was like, wow, this adds like a whole nother element to this story. So yeah, we'll see. I thought they were setting that up with the Seraphites, but then we obviously get to this, mass grave. Basically, they're all just dead. It's like, whoa,
yeah, that
so
was,
intense.
That was tough. That was tough.
And then
I guess we assume that the WLF or Abby's people killed them, or any WLF.
Yeah, I can't imagine who else it could have been. Like, there's no one. It wasn't demons as they call them. It wasn't the infected. And I can't think of any other, random factions that would have like taken them out.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then we see the WLF moving out. That's our parting shot. A big tank coming in. Crazy. Intense.
Yeah. Really intense.
Is it like, next week, huge battle? Is that what we're doing? Like that was the ominous parting shot, is like everyone marching to battle. It was whoa.
Wait, and so why do we think, okay, we see what's his name at his post?
Manny.
Yeah, we see Manny at his post, and they ask him to like look at a different region or something. Like he's like, oh, I'm on region 3 and 5, and they're telling me to look at 6 and 7 or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is that? Is that some kind of ominous thing, or is that Yeah.
more fucking White Walker hordes? Like, are we going full battle again? I don't know. Because again, in the game, it's like Tommy's ahead of you, so they're freaking out about freaking tourist. You know, I love that when they call him tourist. Yeah, we got a tourist. It's like, dude, Tommy coming through, bodies.
They call them that.
Obviously, the Seraphites are hitting them hard at different, different rallying points, taking them out. Like, they are at war. The war is going down. And so ominous, yeah, when they get to Seattle and they're like, wow, it's really quiet. And it's like, because we know where everyone is and what's going down.
Right. And when they're like, oh, there's probably not that many of them. I liked that.
Mhm.
I liked that.
Yeah.
Because, how would they know?
Yeah.
How would they know there's like a society of people living in Seattle with like a full, system going?
So
One thing I
intense.
wanted to say before we are done, I thought it was really interesting during the baseball game when Catherine O'Hara and Tommy are talking,
Great scene.
and she's like, oh, like nature versus nurture,
Mm-hmm.
and how she was basically saying like it's in Ellie's nature to be vengeful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
Again, it's more showing and saying. Really on the nose episode, really.
That's true.
Because we know Ellie is a force of nature, and just like that's her video game persona, is like a force of fucking nature coming in to do damage. Yeah, I definitely kept thinking I really liked Bella in this episode a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And just, I got a lot of hopes and expectations for the encroaching violence, Gabby. Like, violence is coming. And I really don't want to shy away from it. I don't need any sour grapes. I don't need any, like, Walking Dead Negan complaints about, like, it's too graphic. It's too violent. Like, no shit.
HBO.
This is HBO. This is the post-apocalypse. The video game is the most brutal, violent game for a reason. So I don't need any holding back here. Like, this is violence not for shock value, but for storytelling purposes. What goes down and why people do it. It's an extremely important element, and I just hope they don't pull any punches. Totally.
Yeah, I agree.
Any other comments, hopes, and fears, or ruminations? Yeah,
We didn't talk a whole lot about the scene in the tent.
Love that scene.
Yeah, I liked it. I understand. Yeah, I liked it. I'm kind of mixed on it a little bit because I think I'm just protective of Ellie as a character.
Mm-hmm. But it's Dina. Dina and
No, I
Ellie
know,
are
but
so tight.
But for some reason, to me, it feels like they're less tight in the show.
I think it's just building up to that slow burn romance. They're just building up to the moment when they finally kiss and get it going. Because even in the game too, early on, Dina is constantly teasing, constantly poking her.
I know.
And then, of course, they have their big revelation at obviously the dance, and then obviously at when they're smoking fat joints at Eugene's stash house, which again, that whole scene is omitted. So now we're just slowly building up to them finally, like, just saying it. They both want to. It's just one of those things where they both want to say it. And I think it ties into the game's themes of communication and saying. And even Catherine O'Hara had the best she's the best character by far. When she's talking to Joel in the first episode, and she's like, I need to say this. I need to get it out loud. Like, fuck you. You killed Eugene. Like, you need to say things or else they won't happen, or else they don't mean, just talking about communication, saying things, words, and how they matter. So I think it's just tying into just all that big theme.
Yeah, I think I just kind of balked at when she was like, "You're gay, I'm not." I think I just was like, kind of like, "Oh, like, huh." So then, yeah, I was just kind of thrown off by that comment.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, a
'Cause in
little.
the game, it's so Dina's like,
Yeah. Yeah, not to be a hater, but I just think a little bit of this stuff is a little clunky, a little bit. I just think it's a little clunky. I don't know. I'm loving it. Again, like, I think it's making me really appreciate the nuance of the game.
mm-hmm.
There is so much feeling there. Whereas a show, and because you're in control, you have to feel it. Versus, like, you know, that's why I always argue about games are video games. They are not a movie or a show. It is such a fucking dumb bullshit argument that The Last of Us is just a movie or a show. And it's like, no, it's a video game, because a game, I'm doing it. I'm in control. I'm an active participant, not a passive observer.
I always say this. Maybe I haven't said this on stream before, but I've said it many times. The closest, I think, thing to playing a video game is being in a play. Yeah. That's the closest comparison you can get. It's not similar to a TV show, it's not similar to a movie. It's the closest thing is being on stage performing a play.
I like that. I love that.
I also, while we're here talking about the themes of The Last of Us and how it's not a movie or a TV show, if you genuinely think that the only theme in The Last of Us is revenge bad, that's on you.
Yeah.
And that is sad, actually.
Yeah. There's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot there.
There's so many different characters, like such an ensemble cast, and it just always comes back to Ellie Abby.
And just so many different themes. Like, it's not just about revenge. Like, come on, be serious.
Yeah. Just the grieving process.
Yep, it's about grief.
Is really good in the show. I'm really feeling the grieving process. Yeah. Catherine O'Hara, dude, killing it. Fucking what an addition. We should be so lucky that she's in The Last of Us season 2.
What's your favorite Catherine O'Hara movie?
Oh, just Christmas Vacation. Come on. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't. It's like
mine is Best in Show, of course.
Nice. Yeah. I'm just like, I'm a Christmas Vacation. Every year, every Christmas since like childhood. Every year, every single year. Oh, it's so good. Any other last thoughts?
Does Chad have anything?
Chad, you got anything?
Anything that we missed? I haven't.
Just talking about the conflicts of being human in the game.
Yep.
It's more than revenge bad.
A big one that I really like is the humanity of one's parents.
Yeah.
That's a really important one to me. I really like that theme. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Alrighty. Until next time, everybody. Do you think we open with Abby next week? I am. It's literally a threat. If we have a flashback episode or a bottle episode, I am going to be just like, I don't know. Just because of the linear nature of this season now that they have set up, they're building towards something. Huge army marches on. So what is,
But remember, in the game, you explore Seattle for 3 hours before you see anything that's not a zombie. And then you're doing a lot of
unless you go in that bank
shit that you're not doing in the show. So it's just going to be different things are going to be truncated.
Yeah. Made me really appreciate video games so much.
But
you know why?
Them walk around for 3 hours.
No,
climb things, that would be boring.
Because I'm always like, my favorite part of anytime I'm playing Last of Us, it's like just that back and forth of like, all right, insane combat encounter, let's go, like taking people out, scavenging for supplies, and then it's like, okay, breathe, let's get emotional story beats, story moments, characters, let's go. And just like that back and forth, whereas the show is just like, we don't get to play. But we will have some big action scenes. It's gonna get nuts.
I want to read this chatter. Revenge bad was created by the upper class to keep the lower class in check. Saying revenge bad after getting revenge said no one ever.
Very good.
Fully agreed. Revenge
Straight
good,
up.
in my opinion.
Tommy with Joel's body. Very good.
Tough.
Very good.
That was tough.
Yep.
Who's younger? Tommy?
Tommy. It's a little brother.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah. It's just so different, dude. It's so different. Dude, Tommy in Seattle. What the fuck? It's so...
When? How is he getting there?
Is he even getting there? Is he even going? Like, it's insane.
Here's my question. It was 7-3 at the council meeting.
Oh, and the 3 will go. So it's obviously Jesse, Tommy,
Joel.
And probably...
I'm sorry, not Joel, Tommy.
Tommy, Jesse, and Maria probably.
I don't think Maria's going because she has a child.
Yeah, but she probably voted. She probably voted, yeah.
Yeah, and I think she will be less angry about
them going.
Tommy going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot to go. A long, brutal road. It felt like a transition episode, which I always love. I love a little slower episodes. That's why episode 2 just didn't hit as hard as it could have because of the giant battle. You know, I know a lot of people were like, dude, episode was a 10 out of 10, one of the best hours of TV. For me, it just the big battle and nobody dying from the big battle. It just lessened the stakes personally. Yeah. So I like these quiet, like the emotional stakes to me are so much higher than like random big 1,000-person battle stakes. I don't know.
Yeah. My first.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
There you go.
Weird. The first time I played Last of Us 2, I went to sleep right when I got to Seattle because I could tell it was like a transitional.
Yeah. Fun. That's fun.
Yeah. So it feels very like.
Totally. It almost feels.
Chapter 1.
You're so right. It almost feels right now like season 2 is about to begin.
Yeah.
Truly, like that
prologue.
Yeah, that was all the prologue, epilogue of part 1, prologue of part 2. Like here we go now.
Yeah.
The players and the factions have been established.
Mm-hmm.
The motivations are clear.
Yep.
Here we go. Crazy.
Yep.
All right, everyone. Thanks for joining. As usual, that was episode 3. Just 4 more to go. Remember, a weird episode count. We only have 7 this season, so don't get caught off guard. We only have 4 total more to go. And all the run times came out. All the episodes are an hour about. So there's not going to be some big hour and a half, 2-hour episode. Everyone just, I don't like to get blindsided by episode counts and stuff. I like to at least know how many there are.
Totally.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Till next time, what is going to go down? I don't even know. I hope we see Isaac.
What? Here's the thing. It's Jeffrey, right? So we have to see him, and I think they want to use him.
Yeah.
As they should.
Yeah.
Oh, the other thing, you were texting me when the show's... Oh, wait, we didn't talk about the new intro.
Yep.
I predicted it. The other thing is Hubert was like, "Oh, he's already out of the credits."
Yeah, I knew that. It wasn't shocking to me. It's just like brutal.
Well, because sometimes actors will sign a deal where their name will be in the credits of episodes that they're not in.
See, I'm like PTSD'd from Walking Dead, where it's like kill person gone,
no,
out of the credits gone.
Usually actors as now as famous as Pedro Pascal, they will sign a deal like that, but
yeah,
just
waiting for that special guest star episode. 7 or 8 special guest star.
featuring
Can't wait. Cannot
and-
wait. Yeah.
Those are other. If you see and or featuring
Yeah.
or introducing, that's like
I like when they don't say it at all until it happens in the episode, and then right when the episode ends, it's like special guest star Pedro Pascal. It's like hits, dude. That shit hits every time.
Yep.
Miss him already.
Wait. Yeah, never. I
Yes.
think we know what the bottle episode is.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
We do.
100%. 100%. There's still
We're
there's
seeing him again.
Yeah.
Yes, we're seeing him again.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
no. Yeah,
There's
you have not seen the last of Pedro Pascal.
plenty of flashbacks.
Yes. Oh yeah. We will see. We will see. All right, everybody. Till next time. We will see you tomorrow right here on Easy Allies Twitch.
We will.
Tomorrow's Monday. I lied. We will see you on Tuesday, 2 days from now. Yes, we'll see you then. Bye bye.
Spoiler mode, final warning, spoiler mode activated.